Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Talkin Town. I am Steven and I am joined by Michael Abraham. How you doing, Michael?
I'm good, and I'm not Adam this time.
No, I was Adam last
Just so
time.
we're clear. Oh, okay, my bad.
Oh,
I'm
no,
still
no,
not
no,
Adam
no.
then.
I think Adam said he's Steven and he's joined by Adam or yeah, everybody's Adam except Adam.
Yeah,
So,
who is Steven?
yes. Really lost track. All right. Well, welcome back, guys. We should have a pretty quick episode for you this week, just because we got a lot of stuff going on. People are busy. Adam once again can't join us since he's busy with school and such. So we break it down for you. So primarily, what we're going to be covering this is just the meta breakdown, kind of as the season winds down before Secrets of Power comes out here in pretty much like 2 weeks, kind of, or at least pre-releases come out in like 2 weeks. That is.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so, Michael, go ahead and switch over to SWU Metastats and kind of
Let's do it.
break it down for us.
Yeah, happy to. Awesome. So this week was this week was interesting, in my opinion, compared to last week. So Han, we're still seeing kind of a domination of Han 2 Blue, but not actually in terms of wins, just play rate. It's just being seen everywhere. Cad Bane Tarkin Town seems to be rising rapidly in meta share, but its win rate is pretty low across the board, like 47.7%, which is really not great. But I don't know if, a lot of times these, like, I don't know what you think, I'd be curious, but a lot of times these decks at the top, I find, except for a few, Han Green notably, and this Han 2 ECL, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a bit, a lot of them, the more decks that are played, the lower the overall win rate. And I think that's just because more people are picking them up that probably don't have experience playing them. That would be my assumption. Obviously, no way to validate that, but that would be what I would guess. When we go up to top 8 here, which I think is kind of our most important metric, we see that Han 1 Green is doing exceptionally well with a 58% win rate this week and a 26.1% conversion to top 8 from Swiss. So that's incredible, and it's won 3 tournaments this weekend. And this is Han Green 30. Han Green Data Vault, which is kind of the same archetype, basically, but played significantly less. There was only 6 of these, and 1 in top 8, only 6 total, but also had a 60% win rate. So I think this archetype as a whole is crazy powerful. And then the big breakout this week was kind of this Han Solo ECL. Han 2 specifically ECL with a pretty high win rate, really high conversion rate, won 2 tournaments, second most placed in top 8. This is kind of the week of green, it seems.
Which is, well, I shouldn't say that's interesting. It's always funny because everyone makes a joke about green as an aspect, but I guess it's mostly green leaders because because then they don't have access to Data Vault and ECL and such, which
right.
a lot of these are using those bases. But
Yeah.
seeing
Well,
a lot
actually,
of domination
out
from
of
Han
curiosity,
Solo.
real quick, if we look at our leader breakdown, 11% in top 8 were green leaders specifically.
And that is
So,
probably your
Palpatine, probably.
Yeah.
What, Palp and 2 Obi-Wans, apparently. A Palp,
Yeah.
Piet,
Okay,
Snoke.
yeah. Well, is that Snoke an actual, or is that a?
This is just one dude.
Well, what I mean is that from a? Oh, it is just one dude. Okay,
Yeah.
so it wasn't a sealed.
No.
Okay.
Sealed gets filtered out of the report.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So just what looks like one guy ran Snoke in 1 PQ or something and did well. Got a top 8.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. But then if you look at base aspects, there's your green.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, with
Yeah.
how much like with how crazy that is, like I we're coming into the new set, which little segue.
Mhm.
And every uh time before a new set or kind of before the season at least starts, FFG does some kind of update that says, "Hey, we're monitoring," and that's where they do their first set of, "Hey, is there anything that we need to address?"
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I know, with the force throw suspension, they were saying aggression aspects were dominating conversions.
hmm
And
And if we look
now
at that
obviously,
now, it's overall pretty split. So their goal there seemed to
okay, because
be
that's overall
achieved.
as opposed to
This is
just the
overall
base.
archetype aspect. Yeah, this is just archetype aspects. So combining leaders and bases together, we have a pretty even split. But green is now the dominating color for sure. Although what's interesting about that is if we looked at just like back at um, last week we saw a similar thing with red being even less, and it kind of gets more green as you go. So like as we go back, there's less green uh, comparatively to red. Red is more, and then it gets less. It seems as we go. Not by not by a lot. It's been pretty consistent, but
Okay. But yeah, it will be interesting, to see what if FFG does anything right now.
I
I
agree.
don't think there's a lot of sentiment to get rid of anything at the moment. Um, I
Yeah.
I don't. I think part of that is just there's a lack of interest to a certain extent, since we're looking towards the next set, uh, and we're just curious how things are going to shake up at that point. But I mean, it does look like it's just a lot of domination by green bases, which, arguably are the best bases in the game right now with Data Vault and ECL. Obviously, Tarkin Town is still high up there, but curious if they what they do about that. I'm sure in any kind of meta update that they do end up doing that, they probably make a mention of it. I'd be
I would
shocked if
have
they
to
don't.
think so. Yeah. I mean, if we look at the actual distribution, base distribution in top 8 this week, we're in
Yeah.
this week, right? Yeah, week 4 of post suspension. So, yeah, Data Vault was 27. We had saw 27 Data Vault decks in top 8,
Now, here's a funny question
which
for
is
you.
crazy.
Say I came to you and said, "Hey, FFG actually bans a green base."
hmm
Which one would you want it to be?
Which one would I want it to be?
Yeah.
I would want it to be Data Vault.
See, I agree. And the reason being with Data Vault is I feel like Data Vault as a card just pushes out some of your some of the other just styles, because Data Vault is your control deck nowadays,
hmm
right? It's like, hey, I get a benefit and I'm just a better control deck than a hard control deck because I just have so many cards that the control deck just can't deal with me,
Yeah,
right?
I completely
Um
agree. I completely
so
agree.
yeah, I'd be quite, I shouldn't say quite happy, but I'd be relatively okay with seeing Data Vault go. I
Yeah.
definitely think it is an annoying situation. Um, but for all I know, it switches back. You go with a 30 health base, and then you're like, man, why do they always have a ramp? Although although
So
although in my experience, they always have ramp anyways.
yeah, I agree with that. Except the one time it's really important and you don't. But no, I completely agree. I would be on the side of banning Data Vault as well. I think ECL is much stronger in a more like overt way. Like it's very apparent. It's very in your face. Oh, I just got record and lost the game because of ECL. But
Yeah.
I don't think that it's as meta warping and as Data Vault is, because I think Data Vault, like you're saying, is that's your control deck. Is you put blue, something blue, and Data Vault, and then you're just kind of the better control deck. But not only that, you seem to see Data Vault, like we're seeing Data Vault with let's see here, we're seeing Data Vault with like Boba Data Vault,
Yep.
Qi'ra Data Vault, of course, we're Iden Data Vault. I think Poe Data Vault, these are just top 8 specifically, but if we went to all, little less Data Vault this week than last, it looks like, I think. But Thrawn Data Vault. My point being, Luke Data Vault. Things are just kind of, I think you just take a leader and you put Data Vault with it if it's in green, and it just makes it like a grindier deck, and I personally think that's negative for deck building at the deck building side and at the playing side. Like both of the angles of the TCG, I think, are affected by Data Vault, because it makes deck building easier, so people lean towards it because you don't need to make as many decisions and many cuts with your lists, and you get a perceived benefit, which it is. I mean, 3 health is a benefit, but so you have that aspect, and then also the way that it plays out is it's much harder for aggro decks to beat you compared to like ECL and even 30. I'm actually on the camp of, I don't think it's good for the game, period.
Yeah, I mean, you also have the other element of ECL is going to rotate into the next set. I mean, so I don't know. It was just something I wanted to bring up because I'm like curious, based off of where the meta is. Like, if there was one card that people are like, you know what, this is the next card that we want to get rid of, what would it be? And I feel like it would probably be, I think you could say maybe four different cards. I think Han 2, leader, or one of 3 bases: Talkin Town, Data Vault, ECL.
I agree.
And then probably number 5 would be like Qi'ra.
Probably, yeah. Although I don't think that should go.
At this point, I don't think it really needs to anymore.
No. It was that or Force Throw, and they went with Force Throw, in my opinion. Yeah. And I think we're good. Like, Han 2 Blue is good, but as we pointed out, it's 15% conversion rate. That's really good, right? Yeah. But it's certainly not dominating by any means. I might argue it's one of the best decks in the game. I personally, and I'd love your take on this as well, I do not think it's the best deck in the game. I definitely think Han 1 green is the best deck in the game at this point. Just purely based on numbers, just the overall win rate this deck has and conversion rate is crazy high.
Yeah. See, I don't know that I believe that Han 1 green is the best deck. I definitely think there are, ways to adjust and deal with it going forward. I still think that the 2 best decks, just from how flexible they are, is Han 2 Blue, and I think Qi'ra Data Vault is also just insanely good right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, Han 1 green is definitely very, very excellent. But I do think that, people, it's definitely like, oh, I need to worry about this deck now. So I'm going to come out and I'm looking at it, and if you were to pull up, for example, the
do you want to pull up some lists here?
The Han, well, yeah, let's go to Han 1 green and just look at the matchups.
Yeah.
So if we're saying that Han 1 green is the best deck in the format, okay. So what are its best matchups? You have Boba Data Vault, which honestly kind of feels like it's falling down.
I agree.
Definitely think it's on going downhill.
I have some choice comments on that deck actually when we get to that, when we go through some lists. But
yep. Then you have Sabine, which, I mean, it's there. I don't think it's crazy, out there. I don't know exactly what the meta share is. I guess I could probably look at it very quickly. It is... Where is it?
Meta share for Sabine?
Yeah.
We can pull that up real quick.
It is
5.3%.
Okay, so it's definitely around, but it's not like top tier. You'll probably run into at least one at all time, in every tournament.
Oh, definitely
Maybe
agree.
two. But I don't really see you running into it more than twice in a tournament, right?
No, I would agree with that. Twice, maybe three if it's a bigger tournament.
Yeah,
But
if you've got a much longer tournament,
yeah,
it's possible. But so you've got that. You have Anakin, which I mean, I don't think it's
that fell
popular
off.
enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I assume the meta share is like 3-4%.
yeah.
Um,
I'd still
but then you look
played
at
for sure, but
yeah. But then you look at the worst matchups here, right? And so this is kind of what I wanted to point to of what I think the two best decks are.
yeah,
And I'm like, oh well, look, its worst matchup is Qi'ra Data Vault. How interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Oh look, Han 1 Blue, which is, in my
Han 2. Oh yeah,
opinion,
Han
a
1 blue. Yeah,
much more. It's getting to be a lot more popular, and I think part of that too is just people are like, oh, I get to play Han 1 again, right?
yeah.
It's the new
People like
phenomenon.
Han 1 too.
Yeah,
Like
people
it's
just like Han 1.
yeah,
And it's just it's been introduced because Force Throw's gone, right? I don't have to worry about my hand getting destroyed in the same way anymore. So
yeah,
that's why it exists.
yeah.
Then you have Han 2 Blue, again, solid deck. Really, I mean, what is it really like?
It has no
really
major
bad
weaknesses
matchups?
in my
Yeah,
opinion. Yeah.
it feels like it's the deck to win most 50-50 matchups.
You know what? I think
Um,
you are changing my mind. I think you are right. I think Han 2 blue is we would probably slot that in as the best deck. I think you're right. I think Han 1 greens, what gets me is just its ridiculously high win rate, just across the board.
yeah,
And I don't know if maybe that's like a remains to be seen thing, because this is only week 4 of it even being really a factor again. So who knows? But yeah, that's kind of what gets me.
yeah. I mean, I think Han 1 Green right now is just it is the deck of the format that kind of just says stop me.
Yeah. Which,
So
if
and
you look
and
here, so that's what I was thinking too, and this is what I got curious about real quick. If we look here, we have all of these positive win rates, right? Positive matchups. Obviously, oh, that's interesting. That's exactly 50-50 for Palp Yellow. Crazy.
that I can see because Pop Yellow just runs. It's yellow, so you have like no good to me deads and
Yeah, but I would have
sauce
put
tools.
Palp way as like the dominating over that. But I guess what do I know? Obviously, mirror match 50%, but it only has a few bad matchups, and its few bad matchups look really bad.
Yeah,
So that's really interesting because Taliesin I wouldn't put that as really bad, but everything below that looks like it's terrible, right? Han Blue, Qi'ra, Yoda, apparently Force, awful win rate. So this seems very polarizing. Like you said, stop me, and these decks probably can't.
yep. So, because now I'm curious, where's the meta share for Qi'ra?
For
Because
Qi'ra,
yeah, that's where's Qi'ra? So Qi'ra is
30%
2.6 of the meta.
of the whole meta, or are you on the report?
I'm looking at this past week.
Oh, okay. 3% overall for this.
Okay, so 3% overall, which honestly seems kind of crazy to me. Now, I don't know if that's a result of like just aggro decks are pushing it out, which is weird because like I'm looking at some of its matchups here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I see Iden Data Vault is really bad matchup, and I'm like, I mean, okay, I don't think that's
not
also 3% of the meta.
Yeah, but how many of those are you really going to run into? Well, okay, so there is the factor of like if you run into an Iden and you tie, then you could just be screwed from that point forward.
So
There is that
right.
factor.
I mean, I'm looking at Iden. It's 29 matches, 6 wins, 20 losses,
Yeah, three
3
three
draws.
draws. So okay, so it just loses to Iden.
It does just lose, yeah. And then after that, so that's like a 23% win rate. Then you have 29% win rate into Palp Yellow, which, I mean, again, I've only played the matchup a very limited amount.
I have played it an extreme amount, and it sucks.
Does it?
Ass
See,
every time.
when I've played Qi'ra into it, I just feel like I just grind, like I just play the late game better.
Really, it's never been my experience. I've played a lot of it. It's what Landon beat me with, although I was on ECL, so it's a little bit different game. But yeah, every time I've played into it, it just feels like you're doing your thing, you're Vadering, you're doing all this, and then they don't care because you can't put on enough pressure, and then they just dominate you after the flip. After the flip, you just can't recover. That's what has been my experience.
See, and maybe it's also a timing thing, but like I know in my experience when I'm playing it, they have to Bazine you at the perfect time.
Yes, that is a big part. Yes, I agree with that.
And so like when I was, again, just anecdotal example, like I play the matchup, I get hit with triple Bazine, and 2 of my super laser blasts get hit, right? Which I would think is a very important card in the matchup, but just the way that you have access to the blue removal, you have access to Darth Vader. So, just in that scenario, then you're really just able to outgrind them, it feels like. I mean, sure, they have, change of heart and such, but I feel like you can just win game 1 because in my opinion, they have to get rid of your super laser blasts if they want a chance to win from the Bazines. And then at that point, as long as you just prevent yourself from dying, you just win off of vigilance. Again, obviously the stats completely
contradict that.
Completely contradict that. But to me, it's just interesting because it feels like Palpatine is arguably the harder control deck. It's got yellow, which a lot of times tends to counter blue because you have the ability to just rip cards out of the hand.
Yeah, right. And then he's Palpatine and he just goes big.
Right, and he's Palpatine. But you being a Data Vault deck are like, guess what? I have 10 extra cards you have to deal with.
Yeah, that's a big factor. What I've experienced myself is they want to Bazine. They've either tried to Bazine my Laser Blast if it's late, or they try and Bazine my ramp early. And if they Bazine my ramp and then they ramp, it's just like game over on the spot.
Okay.
So like most Palp Yellows that I've played against want to Bazine me on 1 and take my ramp for turn 2. And then if I don't draw it again, I'm so ridiculously far behind. It feels super bad.
Okay.
But
I guess I look at it as just like, I feel like you can, not like in a tournament setting, am I saying this, but you can slow play them as in, I'm going to just,
I think you can.
You put the pressure on me is kind of the way that I see it. Like force them to put the pressure on you and then because eventually you'll just be like, I have more cards than you.
Yeah. So yeah. And I can see that. I'd have to play it that way. Cause whenever I play Palpatine, I usually my wins have come from going wide. But so I haven't put that to the test. So I would be interested to see.
Yeah. I mean, the big element of it is you don't want to run into a situation where you're playing against a Palpatine, you get triple change of hearted on your big stuff, and they smack you for anywhere from 6 to 10 on each of their change of hearts. That's where you lose.
That's
where
bad.
Like,
yeah.
And that's where I'm saying I feel like so much of the matchup, especially if it's late in the game, you like look at your hand and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna deck him out before I deck out. So pass. You want to commit something to board? Okay, I'll react to what you're doing. And I feel like if you go that mentality, it really harms them because I feel like a lot of what Palp Yellow does is it wants to react to you.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, interesting. I'm gonna have to put some practice.
So really, all you have to do is like, okay, sure, I'll put like maybe a threat on board for Palp, or you're like, here, I'm gonna throw this slightly dangerous thing for your Palp. You'll probably have to give them like a walk, or maybe a Vader. Just make sure that you have the out before you play into it. And then after that, you're like, well, I'm not gonna let you. I'm not playing anything to ground to just let you Vader into it or change of heart it. And then at that point, you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna just wait for you to start dropping, your dev, and I'm gonna wait for you to drop your reinforcement walker. And like once you can deal with those, say, 5 threats, you're kind of golden.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe we'll have to put some practice games in.
Yeah.
'Cause I would like to try that and see
I don't know.
how that goes.
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it wrong, or maybe I'm thinking about it right.
Maybe you're thinking about it right, and I've just been thinking about it wrong the whole time, which is very possible. And segueing into this, though, the Qi'ra, there was a Qi'ra data vault that won this week. I wanted to take a quick peek at the deck list. It won a 119 player PQ. So that's pretty significant. And it's a cool list. It's running the full Ogdo Bogdo and only 2 turn 1 plays, Inferno 4 and Pershing. And I'm
this is what I've been playing.
This is the list that you've been playing? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then 8th Brother I thought was really interesting. I think that's cool. The 3 Callus I think is interesting and cool as well. I love Callus. Huge fan.
Like, I was never a fan of Callus, like previous, and now I'm like, Callus is so good.
Yeah, he's
so good
king of the Qi'ra data vault deck. I don't know what it is exactly. It's like you need that ramp. You ramp, and then you need something to catch you up. And he just ambushes in, kills a thing, draws a card, usually draws a second card, and you're just happy about it.
Like in my head, I'm like, I play Callus. Like Callus is excellent when you ramp.
Yeah, I think you eat up the 2
opinion.
force.
If you don't ramp, it definitely feels much worse.
Agreed.
Because you just don't have the breakpoints. But like when you ramp and you hit Callus and you draw a card, and then they don't have a way to like I feel like I regularly am drawing 3, maybe 4 cards off of a Callus.
Yeah,
it's
bananas.
Crazy.
It's weird because they actually, something I think that we all probably underestimated right until he started getting played when Data Vault came out, is that you just have to deal with him. They have to get rid of him, otherwise the value you're gonna get is outrageous.
Yeah, like you're in the blue-green villainy situation. You do not want them drawing cards.
Exactly. So it's like you have to kill him.
Yeah.
I've had people go out of their way to try and kill the Callus, and then I'm like, cool, that's sick. I'll just, I'm gonna flip and barrage you next turn. And then
what's so funny too is when you ramp, right? And you go into Callus, kill their thing. And then you're like, okay, well, I'm going to flip Qi'ra now. And, usually because it's a lot of matchups, you don't want to just hold the Qi'ra. You just want to flip it, right, as a threat.
Absolutely.
And then they're like, oh, no, I got to deal with this Qi'ra. Okay, I'm going to kill your Qi'ra. And I'll be like, cool, I'll draw another card next turn.
Right. Yeah. Except when your Qi'ra just gets open fired and then you're sad.
Yeah, well,
But here, you win some, you lose some.
Hey, if you Callus drew a card, flip Qi'ra, and it gets open fired, and that's what they spent their 3 resources their 4 resources on, you're like, cool.
Fair enough.
At least in my opinion.
I think it would be interesting to take a look at one of these winning Han 2 decks. Sure. I'm sorry, Han 1 decks. I apologize. Han 1 decks. I'm going to see which one. That one has way less players. Let's look at this. This is interesting. Oh, this is actually really interesting. So this player, Trapper is the player's name, won a 50-player PQ. And it looks like he's running Gungis and Battlefield Marines, which that's new from what I've seen.
Does that say 2 ofs? Is that all 2 of? 2 of Battlefield Marine, Gungi, and L3 is definitely interesting.
Yeah. And
only
2
of
Tech, 2 Qi'ra, 2 set whatever this
5
is.
4? Set 4.
Set 4 Han. 1 Depa. Okay. Weird. 2 Enfies makes sense. 3 Kelleran makes sense. And then
no Han unit.
Yeah, no Han unit.
7 drop.
I haven't been playing Han unit in mine either.
Yeah.
I much prefer Enfies in this current meta.
It's fair.
And let's see what else. He's playing the full Stolen AT Hauler, full 3 of Haulers. 1 of the Get Out and Push Falcon. Interesting. 3
I think that's probably because of Hauler.
Do waylay. Probably, yeah, probably. I'd love to talk to somebody who really knows how to play Han Green. That isn't me because I don't, and ask why they don't play 3 of these, because a lot of decks I've noticed aren't. And in my
See,
experience, when I slam this into a Chewy, then the other person loses the game.
I mean, yeah, but if you play AT Holler into Chewy, it's literally the same stats. The only difference is you don't get to put another pilot on it.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point. And then
the
it's
Holler,
better on its own.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got the 1 extra health and stuff. So it could also just be because, Millennium Falcon uniques. You don't want to run into drawing a bunch of duplicate uniques for Falcon.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're different uniques because you run the 3 options, but that could be one element.
Could be.
But I don't know if the AT Holler is just particularly good into something, or
maybe it's very good into. Maybe it's just very good into other space decks because it's just hard to deal with. It's going to probably 2 for 1.
Yeah,
that could certainly be the case.
I don't know.
I would. I'd be interested to know, but yeah, this cool list. I think this is cool. I this card in Han Green is such a nice upgrade. And Kellerin is just crazy.
Yeah. I don't know.
I thought that was cool. And then the final one I wanted to look at is I wanted to take a peek at this Hantu ECL. There were 2 of these that won, and this popped up after last week's EQs, I believe, because there was one win here. Was that correct, or was it like a top? Oh no, it wasn't from this. It was it was this week, but the regional.
I think one got second, one got top 4.
Yeah, and it was the Swoop Racers.
Yep.
Yeah, Baton and Sip, right?
I don't know names well enough.
So, whoops. Now I don't want to go to the archetype. I want to look at the decks. So 2-1 here. So I think these are interesting. So 50 players and 55 players on each of these. Noah Big O notation. All right. So are these look Are these exactly the same list?
I think so. They might have just copied the regional list, because I'm pretty sure the regional lists were also exactly the same.
Yeah, these are the exact same list. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, great. So that's easy then. So I think so this is probably the regional list then. You're right. And I don't know much about this, but I do think it's really cool to look at. There's some weird cards in here, like the full 3 of Cham in the main deck is really interesting. To me, anyways. That seems like a sideboard card, but I do kind of get it. The IG-11, the 1 of cheeky IG-11, I guess, that,
Yeah.
Apparently we're not all playing that because,
I mean,
I guess we were missing out. I don't know.
I mean, it's a 1 of, so it's just seems like another 5-drop for them to ECL out. And it obviously does a lot with that. Just because I think it opens up a little bit more. I'm looking at it to would be captured, defeat him, and deal 3 damage. You may deal on attack to a damage. Yeah, I mean, like IG-11 is just a leader killer.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, maybe it's just like it's the 4th Poe.
Yeah, could be. Another 6/3 on 4, I suppose.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I feel like you would just play Anakin unit in this deck though, because you're going pretty wide. I'd be surprised.
Yeah,
if
but you probably don't really care to draw the cards.
5.
But
you maybe don't.
This has this energizes with the ECL though.
Yeah. Yes, that it does. Yeah.
So
yeah, an Anakin drawing a card probably doesn't help you out a lot.
Yeah, I've played against this deck a fair bit. The Cham, yeah, the main deck Cham, in my opinion, makes absolute sense. Because I mean, Han 2 obviously is the deck that can just respond to turn 2 resupply immediately, because they can just be like, okay, 5/2, I've ramped, I get a flip next turn. And you know, with the presence of like Palpatine, for example, that was kind of on the up and up after was it Portland? You had Han 1, which obviously is definitely popular again. You know, you just have those elements of being able to deal with them. So I think it's completely warranted to be playing those cards.
I agree. Yeah, I'm just digesting what you're saying and looking at the list and kind of thinking this through, because this is not something this is an archetype or kind of deck building space, right? The hero ECL, red hero ECL, that is not my forte at all. So, I'm kind of just thinking through what makes this good into the Palpatine, you know.
Well, I mean, it's the more aggressive version of Han 2.
But how is it better than Sabine?
Oh, I wouldn't say it's better than Sabine.
You wouldn't say it's better than Sabine.
No. I wouldn't say it's better than Sabine. It's just with Han 2, you have a lot more options, right? Because you've got the option to play Grogu, which some decks just auto lose to, right? The Grogu on its own kind of just beats a lot of the space decks, right? It beats the Vader Yellow. It deals with the Vader Yellow that way. Still has other space cards to deal with it. But it's just it's accelerated even more so because of the Han 2 ability. But you still have access to things like putting a General's Blade on a Gungi and going hard or whatever else, and still just a crazy opportunity to just get a crazy ECL playoff.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Cool list. Looks really fun. I might have to give it a try. I like the cheeky one arm to the teeth and the hotshot blaster out of aspect, kind of. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I really like the Bounty Hunter's Quarry because, if you really want to, you can just cheat something out and then play that.
And it makes sense with Han playing essentially an entire suite of 3 drops for turn 1 plays. You can so easily hit that 3 drop unit and get the full value from Bounty Hunters.
Oh, yeah.
Which is very, very cool.
Yeah, I definitely like it.
Yeah, me too. Anything else you wanted to say about the report? Or the meta as a whole here?
I don't think so. I don't know. I still think Qi'ra is definitely underrated. I think it's definitely underplayed.
Me too.
I mean, I know it's I think it's a higher skill ceiling or skill floor deck. Well, honestly, both probably. Just with the inherent nature of it, but
I would agree.
But
it's a very
I think really the only other thing that was a surprise to me is we're seeing a resurgence in the Mother Talzin.
Yes, that surprised me as well. Yeah.
I mean, I know its best matchup, at least what everyone said going into Worlds, was they wanted to play Han 2 because Mother Talzin is very good into Han 2. And so maybe that's the byproduct of it. But
could be.
I don't know. That's kind of the deck that I just understand the least.
Me too. Yeah, to be honest with you, it's me as well. I don't. It doesn't click with the way my brain thinks about card games.
Yeah. Like I've never been on the proactive side of playing the deck. That is a deck that I just have legitimately never played.
Same.
And every time that I have played against the deck, it just feels so easy. It's just never registered for me.
It's very confusing to me why it's good.
Yeah. Now, the one thing that I will say is the new integration of no disintegrations being added to the list.
Yeah,
is
that's
excellent.
Awesome.
That's beautiful. honestly surprising that it didn't exist beforehand.
I completely agree. I'm not sure why that wasn't in there in the first place.
Yeah.
I think I personally think that there are a lot of people, not to say that Force Throw wasn't an insane card, but I think Force Throw also had the side effect of kind of providing blinders to other cards in a weird way. Like the meta and everybody was so focused on Force Throw and decks that could just play Force Throw and force throwing things. I think a lot of cards got underplayed, and that's actually the end of my sentence.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it kind of got to the point where, you know, you're searching for another kind of card that did the job of Force Throw, and I feel that no disintegration is kind of tied in with that. Again, because of the unfamiliarity, I didn't know how jam-packed the deck was with cards, and maybe you just truly couldn't find the space for it.
I truly don't have a clue. Yeah,
because I feel like one of the biggest issues with the Talzin list usually was like your turn 5 or your 5 resource turn was kind of like as well as like your 3 resource turn, because you just didn't have the same kind of good units, right? I mean, you obviously had some good 2-drops. Your 4-drops were pretty crazy with Talzin's Assassin and Darth Tyrannus. But like after that, then you really don't have anything for 5 or 3 other than putting like an upgrade on something, or you know, just playing off aspect, right?
Yeah.
So, but you know, if you have initiative, you attack with a force unit. You know, you can know disintegrations and kill whatever they've played turn 1 or 2.
Yeah, which is great. Really great.
Yep.
Yeah, or you can kill a Crate Dragon for 4.
For 3.
For 3. That's better. I have no idea how much that card costs, apparently.
No, it's a 3 cost.
When has it been played, you know?
Yeah, true.
It should be, though. I'm surprised it hasn't been earlier. But
yeah. I mean, if it was ever played, then this is the place to put it.
Or Vader. Old school Vader.
Yeah, old school Vader would work.
He just doesn't see play.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe we can go ahead. Yeah.
I just wanted to briefly touch on what we got coming up here. So
yeah.
So I know this weekend we've got a planetary qualifier in Kansas City that a handful of us are going down to. I know I'm going. Michael is not, but so myself and a few other guys are planning to go down. So if you are going down to there, say hello. You know, love to talk to you guys, and as always, let us know what we're doing good, what we're doing bad. But yeah, hope to see you down there. And then I know we've been cadence-wise kind of going bi-weekly more so now, just with availability. I think we're going to try and aim to do one next week as well, just as a post-Kansas City, kind of recap.
Yeah.
Hopefully we've got some guys that do well. Historically, we seem to do pretty well in Kansas City, so yeah, fingers crossed.
Hopefully, the rematch with you and Derek.
Yeah, maybe I can finally beat Derek in a game.
Yeah,
I can finally beat Derek in a matchup for once. What am I now? Owen.
A lot.
I think I'm 0-3. I'm 0-3.
Yeah, it's not looking good for you and him.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad.
You're good with everybody else. He's like your,
They're always close games, though. They're always close games.
And he's a really fun guy to play. So.
Matches. Yeah, he's always very fun to play. So he definitely has the vibes.
Yes,
vibes are good. Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I wish you luck at the PQ. I hope you or, one of the other, you said 3 other people, I think?
Yeah, I think it's me, John, Daniel, and maybe Landon are the ones
awesome.
that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anything else before we wrap up here? I know we said we were going to keep it
I think that's
short,
awesome. So. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to do another one next week. Go over the PQ. The meta's looking wide open. You seem to be able to play kind of whatever the hell you want. A Bosk ECL apparently won PQ. So do whatever you want, guys. Play cards. That's what I say.
If you're comfortable on the deck, play it.
Yeah. 100%.
So,
but
you'll know the matchup better than your opponent if you're playing something slightly unusual as well.
Completely agree. I think that does it for us. So we will talk to you guys next time.
All right. See you, everybody. Thanks.